how's it going? Welcome back to the channel, and you guys have been asking about my cruiser, and I know it's been a little while, so I do have an exciting upgrade to share with you guys, something that I've tried to keep on the wraps for a little while now. In this video, we are installing a 250 series Prado N90 Hilux style steering wheel into my 79 series with everything working as it should. Factory cruise control, steering wheel controls for your head unit, and it's something that I've tested in my car for the last 3 months, and it's been amazing. And for the first time, I will be selling these kits on my website so you guys can get everything locally in Australia with local support. I genuinely think it's a really great functional and aesthetic looking upgrade, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. Let's get into the video. We are going from the 300 wheel to the 250 wheel, and this has been in the car for the last 3 years. It's done a really good job, no issues, but I do think the 250 looks a lot better in the 70 series cab. So this is the kit you're gonna get. Steering wheel in this box, and clock spring if you need it, and plug and play harness if you need it. And I'll quickly show you. All right, I've got a fresh one in the box. Put some gloves on, I don't want to put fingerprints over your wheel. All right. So this is the 250 series wheel. I have opted for all my kits with the black leather finish. It's a really nice grade leather and very, very hard wearing, as I found out with my 300 series wheel. I've also gone with a black trim around the buttons, and I think the rugged design suits the 70 series cab a lot more compared to the more classy looking and shiny 300 series wheel. And that's why I opted for the black trim around the buttons here, which is how they actually do come out of the factory, the Toyota factory. I should be careful because I know you guys are always complaining about me saying Toyota and not Toyota. Here's a side-by-side with the 300 wheel, and they are the exact same diameter. The 250 wheel is a lot more boxy looking, and even the Toyota lettering suits the 70 series dash a bit more. With my old 300 wheel, this has been in the car for 3 years, done 50,000 Ks, and I mean, the finish is still in great condition. And this is from the same factory, so you guys will have a good idea of the quality. And for this wheel, I opted really for a full leather finish. I just didn't really like how these bits got fingerprints on them. Here are what the buttons look like. Got the voice control button here, up and down volume. These are for the MFD on the dash, and the call button on this side. This is the cruise on and off, up, down, and reset. These buttons that you can just program however you want on the head unit. With my kit, you also get the horn pad with the correct airbag to suit the 70 series. All the harness wiring is there from the steering wheel end. Next, you may or may not need the clock spring and the steering wheel control harness depending on your year model. So as a general guide, anything facelift, you won't need this. You can just put the wheel straight on. And anything pre-facelift, especially if you have that bus steering wheel, you will need these parts. So here we have my steering wheel control harness that I've been selling for years. So what you get is the steering wheel control harness. If you're handy and want to save yourself some money, you can definitely go and make your own harness. I'll throw up a link of my video in the description, and it's got the wiring diagram. It should head you in the right direction. Or you can spend the $100 with me. I hand make each and every one of these. Genuine Raychem Spec 44 motorsport grade wiring, genuine TE connectors, all protected in this sheath and ready to go plug into the back of your head unit. 4 wires here you'll need to connect, 2 to the steering wheel controls, the blue one for illumination, and the black one for ground. The best thing to do is to hardwire these connections, but to make this installation easy for the majority of everyone, I also include the 2 solder sleeves and 2 3M Scotch locks in the kit with the wiring diagram to help you out. I have sold over 100 of these kits. They are designed to work with the Android head units. However, I have seen people using them with mainstream options like Alpine and Kenwood. The last thing you're going to need, depending on your year model, is an upgraded clock spring. Now, there's a certain mob in Sydney telling everyone that the only way to safely do this is with their wireless control module. Funny that. Now, I want you to think about it. How are the newer facelift 70 series doing it? Is it with the wireless control module as well? So this clock spring comes from a Toyota Hilux N70 2013 model with the vehicle stability control. There's the connectors, over there. So most of the Toyotas are sharing the exact same clock spring in that generation as well. How do I know it works with the Hilux one? Well, I had one of those cars, it was a great car, and it is a direct swap over to the Land Cruiser column. Now, what you'll need to do is swap over the steering angle sensor from your factory Land Cruiser clock spring over to the new clock spring, and I'll show you all that when we get to the install. So for the majority of you, this is what you'll need, the complete kit. You have the steering wheel, the clock spring, and the plug and play harness. And I'll have these options up on the website so you know exactly what you need. Let's get stuck in the install. So I've already gone and reinstalled the factory bus of a steering wheel. I don't miss this thing at all. First step, disconnect the battery. We need to remove this horn pad, and it's held in by 2 screws, so 1 on each side. It's a T27 Torx bit. Over there you can see, and you need to remove the trims. So I've lost this trim on this side, but you can see on this side we need to remove that. So just with some sort of pry tool, wedge it in there, and then pry it out. And here you see we have 2 connections, the airbag connector and the horn earth. First we need to disconnect the airbag, so with a small flathead, pry the yellow release tab up like that, and pull the orange connector up. Next we need to remove the earth, so there's a little pinch tab at the top of the terminal locking in that spade. Push the tab down and pull up. Horn pad off, and disconnect the clock spring harness. So just pinch and pull. Before you go ahead and remove the wheel, just ensure that the steering wheel is centered. And you can see in the past I've made markings, the pink paint marker to the top of the wheel, so I know exactly where the wheel is straight, because otherwise if we reinstall it crooked, then yeah, you're going to have a bad time with wheel alignments and that kind of thing. That's a 19mm nut. Don't take that nut off just yet, because you want to loosen the steering wheel. If you haven't done this before or haven't done it for a while, it's going to be quite stuck there to the column. So just yank it a few times, either side, top and bottom, and it's free. Undo the nut and carefully remove the steering wheel. Next we need to remove the factory clock spring. So remove this trim, just 2 Phillips heads. I usually pull down like this, and then you can separate the 2 pieces. Comes right out. The top trim can stay on there. You can actually just push it up, and you can see at the back there are these release tabs on the column. So no problem just leaving it there if we want to just take the clock spring out. First thing we need to do is unplug the clock spring. We've got 3 plugs, the factory black plug, the yellow plug for the airbag, and that white plug. The yellow connector under the clock spring, you've got this sliding tab, so just pull it all the way back, and then you can pull the connector out. And this white connector. The clock spring itself is actually just clipped onto these button boxes. So here you've got one, pull down to unclip. Here we've got another one on the side, and one on the top. When you lift up the trim, you can see it over there. And the top one. Just a word here, when you're taking the clock spring off, whatever you do, don't go spinning it around everywhere, because there's sensitive cables inside. So just remove it as you normally would. Don't play with it. Take it to the bench. So we need to transfer the steering angle sensor, so this cartridge with this box here, over to our new clock spring. It's pretty easy. Just please be careful with this, because you don't want to I guess agitate the components inside. To remove this whole sensor, there are 8 tabs in total. So 1 there, 2, 3, 4, and 4 on the other side. You want to use a small flathead to pry upwards. This is the box we need to transfer over to our new clock spring. Just take note of those marks, they need to slide into your new clock spring. So our new clock spring has a locking tab, so it's not going to spin anywhere. and we need to align the sensor to these two positions. That's it, it's aligned. Clock spring's ready to reinstall. Back in the car, and the new clock spring will go straight in. Just watch that it lines up with those tabs on each side. The tab on the top, and then push it in. Now we need to hook up the clock spring, and this is where the steering wheel control harness comes in. Essentially, this is just a piggyback off this connector. So this connector will have, for my car, cruise control and the horn, and normally this will plug straight in, but it doesn't have the wires for the steering wheel controls and the illumination. The same connector, this end will go into the clock spring, clipped in there. This will piggyback onto our old harness, like that, tuck that away, and then you can run this harness, tuck it through the trim, and run it to the back of your head unit. So this would run in there like that, and shoot out the back. Now I've already got one in the car, so I'm going to disconnect this again, just like that, plug and play. So let's do the other connectors first. The white one back there, the airbag one, and our steering wheel control harness. This is the one I made years ago, still works. And that's it, tuck that out of the way, and we can reinstall the lower trim. So once those clips on the side line up, you should be able to just clip them together. The clock spring is centered because of this locking tab, so now's a good time to remove it. So you just lever it down and then pull it out. So straight out of the box, the steering wheel comes fully assembled. So with your horn pad clipped down onto the steering wheel, and you've got those two plastic covers on the side, as if it was installed on the car. So we need to remove the horn pad before installing the wheel, and one of the easiest ways to do it is actually with it off the car from the back here. So instead of coming around and marking your trims, which you will 100% do, these trims are always going to scratch. You can actually come back here and unclip the horn pad from the back of the wheel. So with the flathead screwdriver, you'll need to pry open this clip. So I'm going to try to do this one-handed. Open the clip. Yep, that'll push out itself. On this side you got one as well. Again, you'll need to pull in. There we go. And you can see the metal foot has actually dropped down already. And there's one back here. There we go. So that's the three unclipped. And then I should be able to lift the wheel off and the horn pad will come straight off. And that's the horn pad. So you can see the three spring-loaded feet, which clips onto the three holes in the steering wheel. Thread that airbag plug through the top hole on the steering wheel, and you can install it onto the column. There we go. Clock spring is seated. It's in the center. Very good. Reinstall the column nut. Torque it to spec. Connect up the clock spring, so you've got two connectors there. One on the left and the one on the right. Now we've got the horn earth and we've got the airbag connector. Grab your Toyota horn pad. I'm going to connect the horn first. Clip. And then your airbag connector onto the new airbag. Seated. Once you're happy, push the yellow clip down. Last thing to do is reinstall the horn pad. So just as long as the 3 feet are seated, just push down. You should hear 3 clicks, and that's it. That's the steering wheel installed. Let's connect up the battery and we'll have a play. Alright, so the steering wheel is installed, and I just love how it matches the 70 series dash so much nicer. So 300 wheel is a bit glossy, a bit shiny, a bit of chrome trim, and I think the black buttons really match nicely with the black and grey theme I've got going on. So black console heading up to the head unit, nice gloss black button trims, black logo, and I think it's just stealthy looking. Yeah, I do long drives in this car, so obviously you want to set it up how you want. But I want to have a black roof liner eventually with a black roof console, and I think it'll help absorb the brightness that we get on those long drives with a very bright Australian sun. Quite happy with this upgrade, and everything works as it should. Let's switch the car on, and then we can have a look at how it integrates with the head unit. First things first, let's have a look at the illumination of the keys. So you can see how that switches on and off, and the color, I know it's kind of bright outside, but the color still kind of matches the cluster, the factory cluster. The blue is slightly darker, although I've kind of matched it with the joining buttons there. So everything kind of links together. With this head unit, I've already linked this with my steering wheel controls for the last couple of months. So how you set yours up is going to be different depending on what head unit you have. Just quickly show you guys. So the way we set ours up is we go into the settings and then common, down to keys and learn, key settings, steering wheel keys learning, great English, and here are all the functions to what I've set to my steering wheel. So I'm not going to go and muck around with that, but essentially what you do is when you clear the settings, you can start pressing the button and selecting the function you want and matching that to the steering wheel. So everything's already set up at the moment, and I'll just quickly show you with the volume up and down. It's like a toggle switch, toggle up and down. Here I've used the voice control to turn the screen on and off. So I like this because I wasn't using the voice control much anyway, and with the screen on and off, especially when you're on a really dark road, you really don't want there to be any brightness in the cab. So on and off works well. Call button, so if my Bluetooth was connected, it'll take you to the phone screen. These buttons are for the MFD, so for your pre-facelift, you're not going to have any function in these buttons. On this side, you have the cruise control. So that works, and the good thing is that our buttons are matched this time. So on the 300 wheel, I know that my buttons were slightly mixed up. And you have the up and down buttons working as they should. These buttons are for like lane assist and, you know, those fancy things. We're not going to have this for the pre-facelift 70. This button is for previous and next, so I use that to control my music. And then my mode button is for the GPS. I don't want to show you where I live, but that's the screen, and that will pretty much take you to any navigation app that you set the head unit up to. And that's for the Joying 10.1. Now I've done a video on this head unit, and I really like it. I think it adds a lot of functionality to this car. So yeah, I hope you found this video helpful, and I'm glad that I can bring this product to Australia. I think it's honestly the best steering wheel for the 70 series at the moment on the market. I'm not a fan of the factory steering wheel, even the facelift ones. It's actually just the older generation N80 Hilux steering wheel. So yeah, let me know what you think. Do you like it? Do you prefer the 300 series wheel? And I'll throw up the links to all these products from my website. So support the channel. You know, you can go and buy your products from overseas, but you're never guaranteed the fitment unless it's from me. That's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys soon.